Hello, welcome back to the Spider's Web, and this is the first of a series of videos I'm going to be doing, concentrating on the Order of Vampire Hunters. Yes. What we're going to be doing in this particular series, in this video we're going to be going through the components and basic rules, and in the following on series from this we'll be starting playing from the first mission, and we'll be doing one of the two campaigns that is in the mission and the rule book. So let's get it open, shall we? We've seen these on the unboxing videos, but I want to go into a little more detail of what they do. Soon, of course, I can remember. So let's get down to the table and see what we have. Okay, so we take the lid off, and inside we have instruction book. We have player card, ID cards, or player, not cards, what are they called? Panels. The character panels. These are two-sided, as you can see. One side has two inventory things at the bottom. The other side actually has three, as you might be able to see there. There is a difference, and it actually tells you in the mission that you're playing which side to use. Okay, next we get the day and night time clock. Oops, there we are. Get this done eventually. This obviously tells you the difference between, or tells you when goes from day to night. It's the turn, or sorry, the round marker for the game. Depending on what mission you're doing, depends on where you will start and end on the clock. What you will be given, as I say, start and end time. So if you're starting at 4 o'clock and ending at 8, then you'll put a marker on there and a marker on there, just to remind you. And when this marker goes round and it lands on 8, not when it gets to 8, when it lands on 8, that signifies the last turn. So everybody gets around then, and the game finishes after that turn, for better or for good. For good or for ill, as it were. Yeah, the win or lose on that one. Now, in here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these character panels. On the panels, you get 6, or I've got 6 because I have the expansion that takes this up to a 6-player game. I think in the base sets you only get 4 of them. Let me just double check on that. I think I've actually added the ones in from the expansion, or the game expansion. Let's just check. Let's see if it actually tells me. It's always nice to have found this out beforehand, but I didn't, so there. Does it say on that page 1? It just says dashboard, it doesn't say how many. Let's see. It doesn't give me a list of how many you get, I don't think. It just says that's the dashboard. So if you've just got the base set and you only get 4 in these, and you're wondering why I've got 6, then it's because I've got an expansion pack that takes it up to a 5 or 6 player game, as opposed to a 4 player game. Then we have tokens. Lots of tokens. We'll look at those in a moment. And then we have the game boards. Here's one of the tunnel pieces. They're both double-sided, so you'll get exactly the same on each side. However, one is a tunnel with a ladder piece going up and down from each end, and the other side is like an alleyway kind of thing, an entry into the building or out of the building depending on what mission you're playing. On here and on all of these boards there are little symbols. I'm going to show you those in a little more close up. Bear with me a second and I'll just zoom in a little bit. Okay, so the ones you have are C1 here at the top. Okay, that's the board number. Then you have 2 stars on the boards. You will get them in the middle of each room. This is to show line of sight. If you can draw a line between those 2, you have line of sight to an enemy. Okay, it's simple as that. Then you've got like a faint white line going down the middle of these ones, which you will get on all of the boards. These signify areas. So although it is all one room, as it were, in this case, there are 2 different areas. So if you have a ranged weapon that's 0 to 1 or 1 to 2, you could be standing here and use it in here. Whereas if that line wasn't there, it would all be one area and you wouldn't be able to use those. And then you've got numbers on it as well. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Let me just go up a little bit. Let's try and see if I can position this rightly. These are where vampires are spawned. On the boards, the main boards, you will see exactly the same. The number of the board, in this case A5. You'll get the area dividers. You will get the numbers for the spawn points. But you will also get, and in this case it's here, a solid grey line round one area. This is a wall, and as such you can't walk through it unless there's a door in that particular room. Do we have something like, well, something else I'm looking for in this? I can't see it on that one. Let's see if we can find one I'm looking for. I'll get one eventually. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. This is one of those. Here we are. This one is slightly different. On most of these you can search, but on this board you will see, hopefully, there is a symbol there of an eye crossed with a line through it. That says that you are not allowed to search in that room. Okay. Again, you have the asterisks, stairs, whatever you want to call it, there for line of sight. You've got your spawn points and you've got your grey solid line all around to show it's a room with a solid wall and you need to go to get from one area to the other. So that is it for the boards. They're all the same layouts. Different designs, as you can probably see. Hopefully you can see through the glare on the light I'm using. But that is it. That is all the same layout. Board number, spawn points, line of sight stairs, and possibly a symbol to show that you aren't allowed to search, which is that one there. Okay, so they're the boards the dashboards or character dashboards, and the clock. Now I'm going to try and get a little bit closer in to show you some of the tokens. So I put the tokens there, so I've got something to zoom into, and I'll just zoom in and then you can see them clearly. Okay, I'm hoping you can now see these clearly. We have these. These are wound tokens for the most part. So there are these two that are out. We'll deal with those in a moment. That isn't a wound token either. Let me see. I'll have to remind myself with some of these what they are. So bear with me, because as I say, I'm learning this game as we go. So hopefully. Right, so I know what those three are. So, we have wound tokens. 3 different ones. We have that one there, which is a single. Let's just zoom in. We have that one there, that is just a single wound. When you have 3 of those, you can exchange it for one of these. It says 3 on it, and that shows you have 3 wounds. If you get 2 more wounds, you can then change it for one of those, which shows that you have 5 wounds. I wish I had better lighting there, unfortunately I don't. So that is that. So you've got your ones. Oop. You've got a 1, a 3, and a 5. There we are. That they are the wound tokens. I have lots of them. Hopefully you don't need them, but every now and again you will. Okay. Next, we have these tokens. Now then, what are these for? Well, these work with the clock. Okay, so how do we have, what do we have here? So we have the clock. So for example, with the way we've done this now, we start our game on 5 and we finish on 7, or you could leave it like that, and you'd have one of these tokens on, and for each time you move that over, and when it lands on there, the game ends. At least I think that's what it could be. It just shows that I have whatchamacallit, I should have only 3 of these tokens. This one is an extra one. I should just have those. So that will show you where it starts, and I think that where it finishes, and this is the one that goes in between to show each round. There we are. So that is that. When you saw the gameplay video that we did on Halloween, I didn't use the 2 small ones, I just used the 2 big ones and moved one of those. Whichever's easiest for you. You know. Next we have these. Should we have some more tokens? We do. I think I put them in this box with the minis. I did. We have these little blue tokens as well. Again, the same with the wound tokens. I'm not getting them all out. I learned my lesson last time. We have a single one. We have one with the number 3 on. And we have one with the number 5. These are fate tokens. You will get these. This is not necessarily where we played it wrong on Halloween when we did the games night for this. We didn't so much play it wrong, but I didn't realise when you got these, and we spent one in the wrong place. So when you are told you can get one, which will be on vampire cards and various other tokens, when you interact with them, it will tell you can get one. So you take one, and then you can spend it to perform various feats and actions. So I'll move that over there. Next we have these little ones. I think these are all the same. I think no, there are different ones in here. We have that type. It has a little question mark on it. We have that type, which has a blue cross, and there should be one more in here. Yep, we have that type, which has a gold cross. Again, I hope you can see these through the glare from the light. These are oh dear God, these are unexplored room tiles, tokens. So as soon as you go into a new room, I'm just looking at for the name of them, to be honest, I'm not looking for what they do. When you go into a new room, you will remove this and then spawn your vampires. I'm saying spawn the vampires, you turn one of the activation cards over, and it tells you then what, not activation cards, one of the spawn cards, you turn one of those over and it tells you what to put down. And these ones, you get 2 blue ones, 2 gold ones. These are objective tokens. They will be placed as according to the map for the scenario you're doing. They will be placed wherever it needs to be, and one will be for the vampire or turn vampires, and the other will be for the hunters. Possibly they could be for primary mission, primary objective, or secondary objective, you never know. Right, next up we have these little tokens here. Right, first off we'll start with this one. This is a fairly easy one to explain. This is a shield kind of thing. You get your character. Digging through the cards here to find one of the characters. Here we are. Sarah we have. Okay, so we have Sarah's character sheet, character card. Gives you a special action and all the different stats. Picture, and at the top you can see you have health and how many wounds you can take. When you start the game, you place this across there. Ta-da! When you take a wound, you flip it over. When you take another wound, it goes completely, and then you start losing these points. Simple as that. And no matter what, no matter how much damage a vampire can do to you in one roll, you only ever take one wound, as far as I remember. So that is what they are for. So I'll put these cards back, because we'll look at those in detail a little later. Then we have these tokens. Now then, these tokens are, what are they called again? Debris tokens. So if you find any debris knocking around inside your little area of exploration. You'll be told in the maps, I'm assuming, that they would go there. What you would need to do is roll the dice, and I think you need to make a success. So you roll one dice, and you need to make a successful roll depending on your character. So I can't really say what you need to roll. It depends on what your character says you need to roll. So that's those. Next we have this dice, or this token. Oops, going a bit too further. These what should we call it? 14 captive tokens, and you have 2 of those. In some scenarios you get to 3 captives, and what you would do is you put them face down or face up, and when you get, in fact, you will put them face up, I would imagine, and these give you the health and the shield. So in order to do any damage to them, you'd have to hit them twice. Once will only affect the shield and won't cause any damage. Twice will wipe out the shield and cause injury. So there we are. And if you get them out, I assume you would win the fate that's on the back, which is 2. As I said, it tells you where you can get them, where you can get the fate tokens during the game. Then you've got these tokens, and these are what now? Crate tokens. There are special equipment in there. In order to use them, you have to break them. You roll your attack die, and you have to hit them to cause 2 points of damage. 1 to get past the shield, and 1 to affect the health. It's exactly the same on both sides. You don't get any fate or anything from them. You just turn over one of the probably item cards or equipment cards, and you get what is there. Next one we get, I'll move those out of the way. The next ones we get are these. You get a teardrop shaped one and a circular shaped one. Now then, let's see what these are, shall we? Doesn't say there. So now I'm not too sure. I think these are the elder, something to do with the elder vampires. Let's see what it says in this part. It doesn't. No, I cannot see any note for these at all. I'll have to look through the book to tell you exactly what they are. So I'm not going to say anything yet about them because, as I said, I don't know what they are. I've not come across these. I've not had to use them because I've only really played the first mission. So anything else I can actually tell you about more advanced parts is, well, just through reading the rules. I can't speak from experience on how things are done. But I'm just having a quick skim through the book, see if I can see anything. But so far I can't see any imagery that coincide with these. We have 3 of the round ones and 1 of the teardrop shaped one. I'll let you know what they are in a footnote below the at the bottom of the screen. I will tell you there, because as I said, I cannot find them, so it may be something that I would need a little bit later on. Okay, so as I said, those are a mystery at the moment, but hopefully we'll find out what they are very, very soon. Next we have these. We have one with a number 2, in fact, we have one number 1. Sorry, we have 2 number 1. We have 2 number 2s. Sorry, we have 3 number 2s. And we have 1. Now, hang on a second. Hang on one cotton picking minute. We have 3 number 2s. I think that's been established. Okay. And we also have 3 number 1s. And if we turn the number 1s over, oops, all fingers and thumbs now, we have 3 number 3s. These are ladders going down into the tunnel that I showed you earlier. Depending on what mission you're playing, you will be told to put a number 1 and a number 2, or a number 1, 2 or 3. And certain things can happen during the game that says a vampire will appear from tunnel or ladder number 2 or ladder number 1 or ladder number 3, and you will put a spawn, you'll put a vampire by this token. And that's that bag of tokens. Next bag of tokens we have are all things that you can interact with. So I will try and go through. I'm not going to tell you how many we have in these because there's quite a few. A similar type of effigy bob. Because they're all like a narrow rectangular shape and there's too many to fuss about with. So first off we have one of these. They are double-sided. This is a door and that's it closed, and that's what it looks like open. There we are. As I say, we have a few of those. We have a few of these ones as well. That is a window. You have to hit it for that in order to break it. Once it's broke, you can get in, or lights will get in, rather. If that's not a bit the right way around. That line there, that marking there, isn't for anything missing. It's showing that light is coming through. It's a beam of light, sunlight coming through the gap in the window, and you can fry your vampires that way. And other tokens we have as well are these, and these are levers. And when you've activated a lever, it will tell you on the other side that you can have a fate token. This is the part that I got wrong on the video that we did last week. I said you had to spend a fate token to operate it. You don't, you get one for flicking the switch. We also have some doors that are blue in colour, and these are special doors for various specific things going on in the game. Right,